This is the first estate, and this lesson centers on Oklahoma was Garden of Eden's tree of life. So, as we move along, this book is the Strong's Concordance. It contains the definition of every word in the King James Bible, Old and New Testament. Within it, we see the word Eden. Now, Eden means pleasure, but I also want you to take note of what it states here, of a pleasant country in Asia. So remember that. Now, as we move forward, lost books of the Bible, great rejected texts, okay? And that's going to bring us here. And in this particular book, this is the first book of Adam and Eve, okay? And in this book, we're going to go to chapter right here, this one. So it's in the Roman numerals, but I believe that is chapter 49, verse 8. We're going to go to verse 8. Okay. And this sign, O Adam, will happen to me in my coming on earth. Satan will raise the people of the Jews to put me to death, and they will lay me in a rock and seal a large stone over me. And I shall remain within that rock 3 days and 3 nights. Okay? So, people of the Jews. All right? So, here we have the word Jew. And Jew also means Judah. Okay? So, we've clarified that. Now, Judah, as you can see from the Blue Letter Bible, Strong's Concordance print off, Judah means praised, the son of Jacob by Leah. Now, second page of that print off, after the division of the kingdom, the name of this tribe was applied to one of the kingdoms, which included the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, with a portion of Simeon and Dan, and had Jerusalem for its metropolis. After the carrying away of the 10 tribes, and after the Babylonian exile, this name is applied to the whole land of Israel. So all 12 tribes are known as Jews. Now, I will divert your attention to the top left-hand corner of the screen. That's where you can keep track of the biblical verses I will be using throughout this lesson. Now, the word here is black, and we're going to go here to the book of Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Okay? So, Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Because languish means weak or feeble. But anyway, all 12 tribes are black. Okay? They just have their own distinct tribes, but they're all black, what you would call the people of North America, the indigenous people of this place known as America, that you're going to learn throughout this lesson. So anyway, we're going to move along. Now that brings us here, Pseudepigrapha, Volume 2, Gnostic Scriptures. Okay? Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means the secret or hidden knowledge of God. Within this book, we're going to, now, as you can see, pseudo-hecataesis, okay? But we're going to go over to this particular part here. Now, as you can see, Josephus, okay? And we're going to go down to the last paragraph of this particular page. Now, such an interpretation, however, has not taken into account how Louis has situated this writing within Greek ethnographical literature. Louis noted that Greek ethnographers sought to classify peoples according to common characteristics. When certain peoples had characteristics in common, they were often linked genealogically by the ethnographers. For the present discussion, Louis noted that the Jews were considered descendants of the Indian philosopher by contemporaries of Hecataeus. Okay, so Jews, also known as Indian. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, because we already know who the Jews are, the real Jews, the true Jews. All right, so as we move along, it brings us here. India. Okay, now I'm not going to read this, but what I will do is go through the whole page here so you can read this at your own leisure. My concentration is this word, India. So, very important that you pay close attention. So, here we have the key. Key is very important. And you see the word Amer. All right? So, Amer. And we're going to go to the book of Genesis. In the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Okay, so we know that Naphtali is one of the sons of Jacob. Okay, he giveth goodly words. So that word is Amer. That's the key we're going to concentrate on. So remember, Amer, India. Now, Naphtali is also expressing the goodly words of this particular word. What does it break down to? Well, here we go. From the Free Dictionary, you see that the word Amer is America or American. Okay? So the true Jews of America also dwelt in other parts of the world. That's why you see, images or statues or, you know, landmarks that we've left throughout this planet, to let everybody know that we taught every being on this planet. Okay? And what they've done now is they've taken our culture and, they've put their faces on it. So we know that this means America, Amer. All right? No coincidence that you're seeing the Asians flock here to America and using our own culture against us. The things that we've taught them, as well as the Hamites, the people living on the continent known as Africa. The Europeans have always done it. These imposter Jews have done it. Everybody has done it. But anyway, Webster's Dictionary, 1828. Okay, so we have the word American. Okay, a native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Right. So they took everything that we've taught them, and including our names, they've hijacked everything, our names, and now they're telling us that we're, the children of Ham, which we are not. You know this if you've been watching me closely. Now, the word here is home, which breaks down to homa. See? A soma plant, a leafless vine of eastern India. So we've already covered India. Now you see homa and you see soma. So we're going to move on. Now, back to the key. You see the word soma. Now, what is soma? Okay, is used of a large or small number of men closely united into one society or family, as it were, a social, ethical, mystical body. Okay? So in the New Testament of the church. So that just confirms what I was saying, all right, earlier. And soma means body. Okay? Slave. We know who the slaves are, or who this world, the people, see as the slaves. It's us. We are the Soma. Okay? Remember what it was. A plant, leafless plant of India. All right? So here we have Okla. Right here, the key. Okla. Now, Okla means, as you can see, meat. Also means fuel. Okay? So, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 through 29. Let's try there. So, Genesis chapter 6, chapter 1, verses 26 through 29. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So as you can see the word meat right here, which means, once again, the key, okla. All right? So, okla, and as you see the word homa. What is that? Homa means tree of life. Can't be denied. Okay? You can see it's from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Homa means tree of life. So we've covered okla, which is written in the Bible. Now homa, which means tree of life. So we're going to go to the book of Genesis. And in the book of Genesis, let's try that. Chapter 2, verses 7 through 9. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. All right? So, we know that that tree, okay, spoken of before, pleasant tree on the continent of Asia. We know why it says Asia, because that is also a place where the Israelites named Amer, which means America. Okay? So, the whole earth is the garden. It's just that America is the Garden of Eden. This is where all the riches will come from and will be distributed to the rest of the world. Okay, so here we have Oklahoma, and as you can see what it states. Okay, so it's from the Free Dictionary. A state in South Central United States. It was admitted as the 46th state in 1907. All right, so as you can see right here, what it says. The western part was organized in 1890 as the Oklahoma Territory, which was merged with the adjoining Indian Territory, okay, to form the present state boundaries. So we know who the Indians are, okay. Now you had other blacks, Negro Israelites coming in from Europe, for instance. You know, we have these distinct surnames, like written in the Bible. These are actually real names. we'd come here with and join forces, or we would merge with our brethren who were already here. Okay? And they just called themselves the Indians. And, you know, and to this day, that there's still confusion around that. I'm here to clear that confusion up. So, as we move on, we see the Apocrypha of the King James Bible. All right? Within it, we're going to go here once again to the word meat or victuals, provision, okay? And we're going to go to the book of Second Ezra. And we're going to go to let's go to chapter 16. 16, I believe, and we're going to go to verse 21. So in Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's right. So the people that lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they had it so well. They were living so great. I mean, Black Wall Street. And blacks were the most successful people on the planet, because if you're successful in America, then you're the most successful. But then something happened. All right? This happened. What was the first American city attacked from the air? Tulsa, the Black District, in 1921. All right? Then we go here. It's again Black Wall Street. And as you can see here, what it states. Okay? So, this is historical account of the destruction of North Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921 by white racist mobs, jealous by the prosperity of the black community known as Black Wall Street. Right? Once again, Mount Zion Church. Okay? Just a couple of views of it. Here we have Black Wall Street. They had their own financial system. All right? And why would they have their own financial system? Well, we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. And this is the part of Black Wall Street nobody wants to talk about. And that is that you've always got blacks among, or wicked blacks among the righteous blacks. And that's going to create our downfall within the eyes of God. Okay? You cannot have wicked people dwelling against or dwelling with righteous people. It will not work. They will corrupt the righteous. And this still exists in society today, but more importantly within the black community, because we suffer the most from this. And if we're suffering, the world is suffering. So anyway, this has been the First Estate with another lesson, and I hope you've been edified that Tulsa, Oklahoma, originally the Garden of Eden. That's where Adam and Eve were, and this proves that America is the oldest country on Earth. Okay, dating all the way back to Adam and Eve. This has been the First Estate with another lesson, and saying until next time.